turn this up. Sun peeking through the curtains, we already in gear. Whole town tuned in, bring your coffee over here. Dial locked in, yeah, you know how we do. It's the community wake up with news you can use.
Community wake up morning show. Charles and Damali on the go. News you can use right here, right now. We break it down, put it in your lifestyle.
Charles got the headline straight, never hollow. Damali got the game plan, moves you can follow. Traffic and the weather, what's popping at the school. From the block to the boardroom, we keep you in the loop.
Yeah. Community wake up morning show. Charles and Damali on the go. News you can use right here, right now. We break it down, put it in your lifestyle.
From the front porch to the car bustle, keep it light, keep it real, keep the hometown muscle. Turn it up, let the whole crew know you rockin' with the community wake up morning show.
go do something.
Okay, let's try this one.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check,
Your
mic,
call has been forwarded to voicemail.
mic check, mic check.
All right,
Mic
family,
check.
can y'all hear us now?
I'm not even gonna lie. Mic check, mic check.
Let us know if you can hear us.
Yeah, we'll be able to hear because I got the volume up on here. So this is like being on the live.
Yeah. Can y'all?
No, they
Oh, they can hear us.
can?
No,
You
no,
can?
because I can see it on here.
Mic check. You can see what? What it?
Family, can y'all hear us now?
You can.
There you go. There you go.
Man.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I think storm stuff. We still got
Hey,
trying to work it
Let me
out.
tell y'all something. They outside working on wires.
Yes.
And all kind of stuff is going on. But
Yeah.
what our goal is to make sure we stay live as much as possible. Hey, it's PSO trucks everywhere. Remember this weekend we had a crazy tornado that came through, and we may be one of the only facilities that's not been hit by something.
Yeah.
So here,
Other
there,
than
it may
sound and
glitch.
communication.
Right. So y'all stay locked in with us. We're gonna rock and roll and get through it. There's stuff also kind of going on with the social media a little bit. But the beauty of us on the community wake up is we stay locked in 24/7. So if the sound go, let us know. 5 times 5 is a little hollow. 5 times 5 a little hollow. But we'll just roll with it. Anyway,
Yeah.
thanks for tuning in on NYCU.FM radio station. We appreciate that. We also live on KBOB 89.9 FM over there with Uncle Bobby. Also remember the Juice Radio Show, which is our youth program that allows youth in high school to be a part of the media space. And so if your youth has any interest in being on the radio, the Juice is the perfect program for them. We also live on YouTube, the official World One Development news that you can use. And it's Taco Tuesday. Damali, me and you are back. And no matter what, the beauty of you and I is some way, somehow, we move forward.
We're going to make it happen regardless,
Hey.
because that's what we do for community. We show up. So today, our theme is going to be mentorship and youth. That's what we're talking about today, which easy topic for us to talk about because that's what we do, you know? So yeah, no, Uncle Brian said your ace reporter is here. Yes, you are. Uncle Brian is continually sending me stuff. Some stuff I've seen, some stuff I hadn't seen. But thank you, Uncle Brian, for always sending me some stuff so that we can talk about right here on the show, because it does make a difference. And we need to know what's happening in our community. And education is what we push right here on the Community Wake Up.
Let me ask you something, Molly. So we are about 72 hours removed from that crazy tornado that came through. How's your mental? How's your physical? How's your spiritual? How's your emotions still doing right now?
I think it's still kind of a state of disbelief that, like, man, it was like literally this close to us, but God, at the end of the day. So, it's still surreal. And when you drive in the community and you still see all the trucks and all the cleanup and, all the things that are happening in community, it's just like, wow, this ain't a dream, don't nobody need to paint you because
Right.
it's real. So yeah, it's just kind of surreal.
Let me tell you what I thought about this morning.
What's that?
You know this. A couple people may know it. The people that we are really close with is, I fast all February.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just continued that fast into March. And I was talking to a guy yesterday who was at a development site. And he was like, well, Charles, man, I kind of go to church sometime. I said, man, let me tell you something. Man, I end up in a tornado, on Friday night. And I said, man, to be honest, I've been standing on Psalms 91, hide me under the secret place of the Most High. And I said, man, I can't tell you how I felt knowing I had been fasting and standing on that scripture. So when things got really chaotic, and I see ceiling tiles floating, when I could just say Jesus and I seen them tiles go back, Damali, sometimes your faith is going to be tested.
Yeah.
And I told him, because he was like, man, my wife goes to church all the time. It's not a spiritual show, y'all. Well, it is a spiritual show, but Damali not going to preach, I don't think.
I'm not the pastor.
But it's kind of like sometimes your faith and things that have to show up in your life when things get crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just telling him that I was happy that I have a walk that when things show up, that I have him and then not need him, versus we go through times in life when we forget about the Lord a little bit. And now when you need him, when you call on him, you're like, oh, is he going to hear me or not?
Yeah.
And I just told him that, man, I'd rather have him and not need him. You know what I mean? Than need him and not have him. Did I say that?
Yeah, that's right.
Say it right?
No,
You know what I mean?
right.
I'd rather just have him and not need him. I mean, have him every day and don't need him for anything.
Right.
Then all of a sudden I need him. and I don't have them.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to them. I haven't prayed. I haven't had an act of kindness. I haven't been showing love or any of those things. And now when something happened, I'm a car accident or the tornado hit my building, I don't feel, because I'm human, like, man, I can't call up on. It's kind of like this. When you haven't been doing right with your parents,
right?
You done told them, I got it all figured out, shut up and sit down somewhere. Then you get out here in this world and realize it's not easy out here.
Yes.
So then you feel this shame, like, man, I can't really call my mom no more. I can't really call my dad. But I want to tell you the beauty about definitely the moms, because the dads can be harsh, but the mama, 9 times out of 10 is going to always take the call.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Anyway, so I know we got to get a show, we got to get an affirmation going and all of that, but thank you all for always sticking with us, whether we have a little glitch, whether we have a tornado, whether we have anything. Y'all are here and we are here. And the goal is to always wake up, be informed, be engaged in what goes on, not in just our community here, but in communities all across this country.
Yes, absolutely. So there were one thing that I wanted to talk about on yesterday, but yesterday's show was kind of a different kind of show. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and mention that before we do our affirmation really quick. So one thing I wanted to do is Uncle Brian has been telling us about this Formula One racing, and we, we weren't up on it initially, but now we up on it. So let me just say that. So I wanted to give you guys a quick spotlight of one of the most successful drivers in motorsports. His name is Lewis Hamilton. He is a British Formula One racing driver, widely regarded as one of the greatest drivers that the sport has ever seen. He was actually born in Stavanger, England, and Hamilton began racing go-karts as a child and quickly rose through the ranks of motorsports. In 2008, he became the first Black driver to win a Formula One World Championship, and he has since gone on to win 7 Formula One World Championships, tying the all-time record and setting numerous records for the race wins, pole position, and podium finishes. He is also connected to basketball legend Michael Jordan through his NASCAR racing team. Hamilton joined Jordan and driver Denny Hamlin as an investor in the team, helping bring greater diversity and opportunity to motorsports. Beyond racing, Hamilton uses his platform to advocate for diversity, inclusion, and access in racing, working to inspire the next generation of drivers. So Lewis Hamilton didn't just dominate Formula One, he's helping change the future of motorsports. Now, the reason I wanted to do that is because today we're talking about mentorship and youth. Right. And so this guy is a legend. He's becoming a legend in the sport of motorsports, right? But what is he doing? He's reaching back to inspire the next generation. So that's going to be our theme today. Everything that we're going to talk about is going to have something to do with the next generation and our youth. The next thing I wanted to share right before, because this is a huge congratulations. If you did not know, former President Barack Obama has officially been recognized as the nation's most outstanding and accomplished leader.
Come on.
He received a stunning 3-meter bronze statue erected to immortalize his transformative legacy. And if you don't know, 3 meters is nearly 10 feet.
Right.
So he's a big, tall bronze statue. The grand unveiling held amid cheers and applause in Chicago's historic South Side, Obama's political birthplace. Marks a fitting homage to the 44th president, whose 8 years in office redefined hope, progress, and resilience for millions. And then there's an article which we'll post on our social media that goes on to talk about all the things that he did, how he changed, economic revival, healthcare revolution, global leadership, social progress, and all of the things that he did during his term. So sometimes when we hear other folks in politics talk about our president number 44, what they talk about sometimes is not true, because they want, understand this. We've already talked about this, about who controls the media and the narrative that they paint. Right. So make sure that you are, investigating and learning for yourself. Don't listen to everybody. So, President Barack Obama, you did a phenomenal job. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your new statue.
Now let's bag up to the go-kart man real quick. We just went past that. I think that was huge. You know why? Because I feel disrespected because all them go-karts that I used to ride when I was little. I know you rode in the go-kart.
Yes.
And see, I didn't know I was on to something.
Yes.
And I miss my chance for my glory. I miss my calling. I miss my mark. I know you rode in the go-kart.
I did.
Everybody got in the go-kart, you know, steering wheel all stiff, you just turn it, but if you're going pretty fast. But the gentleman started there and then just unrolls all the way to prominence.
Yes.
So all you go-kart riders. And then you know whenever you go to a theme park, the first thing everybody want to jump on.
Yes, go-kart.
If you're tall enough.
Yeah.
If you're tall enough, kid, everybody goes to the golf.
Yes.
Go-kart. So I just want to acknowledge him. And Barack, I mean, let me tell you something. He's my favorite president of all times. You know, Kennedy is behind that. At the end of the day, you know, we have to celebrate our own.
Right.
You know, we're going through a time right now where I don't know why we're trying to erase our history. That bothers me every morning. It's kind of like out of all the cultures that's in the United States of America, black, white, green, yellow, Hispanics, Indian, people from Irish, people from Poland, people from everywhere, Damali, lives in America.
Yes.
Do you ever sit and think, or do y'all ever sit and think, why are they trying to get rid of our history? It got to be something to that, Damali, that I think is even bigger than what we can comprehend. You know, and I think one part of it is the age of social media, right? The age of AI. So I think that a lot of times when things were hidden and swept under the rug and all of that stuff, I think because of this information we have access to now, people are really starting to feel some kind of way about maybe the wealth, you know, or the perceived wealth they had. And now you're realizing, man, there was a lot of trickery in there. That there's a lot of thieving going on. There's a lot of stealing going on. And if those things did not happen, who knows what would be going on right now. So I agree. You don't live in the past because we got to move forward. But you have to acknowledge the past and figure out what went on. Because guess what, Damali? Somebody, which is what our ancestors had to do the groundwork. And I know, Damali, a lot of times people tell us, man, y'all don't never rest. Man, y'all work so hard. But you know what I think about sometimes when I wake up?
What's that?
I think about what our ancestors had to deal with coming on them ships.
Yes.
What they dealt with in slavery. How they had to wake up in the morning and wake in the field and get whipped and get beat and all of that. And I'm like, if I can't get up with AC blowing in my face,
stop it.
If I can't get up when I can go get an eggs and bacon and cheese sandwich with some orange juice in the morning and take all my vitamins, I can get in a car and listen to my favorite music and drive to where I'm going. And people can't tell me exactly. Then I got to have the energy and the endurance to do my part during my time to make the world better. What about you?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I wanted to tell you when you were talking about our President Barack Obama, that there was a poll done by Pew's research, and it shows that 44% of Americans view him as the best president in their lifetime, outpacing even legends like Reagan and Clinton. So just wanted to make that be known.
Man, I'm from Arkansas. I saw Bill and Hillary Clinton all the time. Because, you know, he was the governor in Arkansas. So, I mean, I think he at my school, all around. We would see him like all the time from Hope, Arkansas. So I definitely have that. But, you know, but for me, the most impact is still Barack Obama, you know, and that's my favorite. But Bill, he's still in the mix, you know, a little bit as well. All
right, well, we're going to go to the live really quick and give some shout outs really quick. And then we're going to go to our morning affirmation. So I see AJ is on the line.
Mr. Energizer is in the building.
Yes.
To the show.
Dominique Harper is on the line.
What's up, little bro?
And thank you for helping us. He said sound check, you know, so thank y'all. When we come on, if there's an issue, y'all let us know because we think we're doing a good job, and we are.
Let me say this. We are doing so much local, national, international. Even our Facebook stuff, our YouTube stuff, you'll see how it fluctuates. But there are massive people that are reaching out to us. We getting calls from USA Today and news people and all these different folks. And I won't name some of the other people, but we got a lot of stuff cooking on our community Wake Up. So a lot of people wake up to what we're doing. So y'all stick with us because this thing probably just gonna blow up in a major way here in the next, 30? Oh, we'll say 3 to 6 months. You make sure y'all, if y'all better get them Wake Up shirts. We don't have one on today. The amount of rocking the NYC.FM. I'm rocking the Black Wall Street Rally shirt today because today the vote's supposed to be counted because today is the 10th.
And guess what? I looked on there and now they changed it to the 11th.
Oh, it's a T. It's always a trick. It's always, we're
Schism.
supposed to win today. See, tomorrow, the Black Wall Street Rally that we will have right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, because it's always a recount. You know what I'm talking about? See, I'm tired of these recounts. Every time you done won, it's always got to be a recount. You know what I'm talking about? So we got to find a way to get with. So I tell you what, come high noon tomorrow.
Yeah, we
they
gonna
better
find
not
out.
say, because you guys and us and other family and friends made sure we got the votes in, and now Damali is a recount.
We gonna see.
They didn't say it was a recount. I'm just talking. I don't know what's going on. Really.
Uncle Brian says, good morning, but it was no sound. So thank you, Uncle Brian, for that. Gary Lee said, good morning, Wake Up team. We at the Oklahoma Eagle love this show. Thank you so much. We love y'all too.
We sure do. I've been reading them articles. Let me tell you something. The Oklahoma Eagle has upgraded.
Yes.
Let me tell you the stories. I seen Miss Maybell story. I seen the one with Oasis. I seen some other things going on, the state of Black Tulsa and all of that. So Gary Lee, you and your crew, hey, y'all done leveled that thing up. Y'all done took that thing to the next level. So you support us, and we also support you.
So if you did not know, the Oklahoma Eagle is still printing newspapers, and we are an outlet for you to pick those newspapers up. So there are newspapers, they deliver them to us every week. And we have them in the front lobby. So if you want to swing by and grab your Eagle, then come on by and get one.
Girl, I've been reading that Eagle so much, I need to get me some reading glasses. You know, you're not really officially reading until you get some reading glasses. You got to look over the top. So cousin Gary, Leah, I got my glasses on and I'm looking over the top and I'm reading and I'm getting it. You know, you put the bifocals at the bottom and then you look over the top. So I'm working through that, Damali.
Yes. AJ says the shirt y'all have on is on and popping. He said, get your dance on. Mom is watching. Good morning, Mommy.
Morning, Mom. Thanks for tuning in.
Uncle Brian said it's going to be trauma for a while. God will see you through. Yep, that's right. Elmer Palmer, good morning, my childhood friend.
What's going on, winner? You see, when everybody was over here, he was standing over here alone, but he wasn't really. He had an army behind him. Because while we was all wrong, you was right. And I didn't forget about that. But thanks for tuning in.
All right, we got cousin Pearlie Newton on.
What's going on, cousin? Love you.
All right, Marquise Nelson is on.
Marquise.
Yes. We got Dr. Cousin Tamika Rogers. She says, good morning, cousins. I'm in Austin at the SWSX Education Conference, and it's good to wake up to your community on the Wake Up with Charles and Damali. Let's go.
Let's do it, Dr. Tamika. Thanks for tuning in over there, and have a good time. Dr. Tamika always got something going on in the lab.
That's right. That's right. We got the fitness guru, Brandon Isham is on. Yes.
Bro, I got to come see you, fitness guru. It's time to start back doing a couple push-ups. I'm going to make a mad dash before summer. So Isham helped me make a mad dash. You know,
you don't want to do that because Isham be going crazy. He be jumping up to the moon and
I
stuff.
didn't think about that. Let me slow that down.
That
Isham,
vertical is.
I take that back, Damali. Thanks for that reminder. Now, give me a couple weeks. I'm going to do something on my own first. Then I'll come see you. But if you're looking for fitness, Mr. Isham has some special things coming up to help us move and do our things better. So y'all stay tuned for that.
Uncle Brian says, and signed a $430 million contract with Ferrari. And it's Sir Lewis because he was knighted by the Queen. Come on, title.
That's what I'm talking about.
He was knighted by the Queen for his good works and being a 7-time champion. So it's Sir Lewis. Put some respect on it. Thank you, Uncle Brian, for getting me right.
Look. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Sir Lewis. Yes, sir.
The Obama Presidential Library, he says, will open on Juneteenth. That's awesome.
Oh, who said that?
Awesome. Uncle Brian.
Uncle Brian, hold on. We got to pause the whole show. At this point, we're going to welcome to the Wake Up Uncle Brian. At this point, he's giving us too much good stuff. So the Barack Obama Museum is going to open on Juneteenth. We got to take a pause. Can I read on that?
That's awesome.
I'm ready for the affirmation now.
Yeah, okay.
Now we can keep going to the live.
Yes. Okay. Soror Gina said, amen, preach, my brother.
Soror, now how far are we into your 30 minutes? Because I saw you at the event. Damali had on 2 different shoes. So I'm going to have to talk to you and your line raps to see what kind of level of fashion are y'all going to take this thing to. Because I'm like, that is a white shoe and a blue shoe, but it was looking good. I just want to know what's going on. You got to warn me, but let me know. You said 30 minutes. It's only 1 minute. So, Gina, you got to hang in there, Soror.
Exactly. We got David Donna Jones on. They said, good morning, family.
In the building.
Richie Anderson is watching. He says, good morning.
What's up, cousin Richie? Thank you for tuning in.
Dominique Harper said, I'll be spending money soon. I'm still on the sick and shut-in list. I might be released to go back to work tomorrow.
We praying for you, bro. Tomorrow.
Yes, that's good.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. And Prentice Osborne is now watching.
What's going on, friend?
And then, of course, we have a host of Secret Listers.
I know, man. The secret listeners be texting me on the side. I'm like, why y'all don't just come on to the show? They
Right.
said you and Damali be clowning too much. We don't clown.
We're
nobody.
very nice.
We very, very nice, and we have a good time. Let me tell y'all something. If you want to do something for us, click that little arrow at the bottom of your thing, which is you can share it.
Yes.
Share it, and then pick 5 friends that you can text on the side and say, have you not heard about the Community Wake Up Morning Show with Charlie Damali in Tulsa, Oklahoma, on Greenwood, home of Black Wall Street? Well, you better tap in, because this foundation is going, and we're gonna grow and grow. Damali,
yes.
how you feeling on this Tuesday, though? Sis, you all right? Your energy seemed good. The
I'm
energy
good.
is up.
I'm good. I got some good rest last night. I went to bed actually a little bit early.
Right.
Normally, earlier than I normally go to bed. So I think I'm pretty refreshed.
So you got your snap back.
I'm snapped. I'm snapped.
Snapping.
I don't know if I'm all the way back, but I'm snapped.
You get Damali
Yeah.
snap. Snapping today.
Absolutely. I want to give a huge shout out to one of our friends. I always say you never know who's watching or you never know who's listening.
Right.
And so I want to give a huge shout out because yesterday we were in Oasis Fresh Market, and I love Oasis because you go in there and it's like family, family reunion, and then you get to dance while you shopping, and I just love it. But anyway, ran into one of my good friends, EXO, from my motorcycle riding days, and I hadn't seen him in forever, but he actually was in Las Vegas and said he has been watching us and following us in everything we do. And he was just so elated that we were doing what it is that we do. So thank you, EXO. I appreciate you for just even saying that, because sometimes, we do what we do because we feel like it's the right thing to do.
I know. And then me, I didn't know him. I hadn't met him. All I know is I was in the Oasis, and all I seen was a big old black dude with a bald head go, there he go right there. I said, oh man, they done caught up with me.
Right.
Everybody has a twin.
Yes.
And every now and then people think you somebody else.
Yes.
And I always pray, Lord, don't let somebody think I'm somebody that they want to do harm to.
Right.
People always say, hey, are you kidding? So when they said, I always say,
Right.
I'm not the person. I ain't nobody. You
I
ask me, say, are you Charles Harper? Depends on who asking them.
Who's asking?
But he did say that, but was a good brother. He was like, man, I just really want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I've been watching y'all show for years, and y'all may not understand what you do to encourage community, because there's so much going on right now. So it's good to hear a good voice with good energy that share local, national, and international news to keep us informed. So thank you, brother. He got some good things coming up. Excited about having him on the show one day. So remember, this Community Wake Up Show is our show.
Yeah.
So when you want to come on, if you happen to be in town, you can pull up. Trust me.
Yeah, pull up. Okay, so we're going to do our morning affirmation. So y'all ready?
And it took us 30 minutes just to get settled in. So that's how you know we miss y'all.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
Yeah, yesterday was a rough day.
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. So today's affirmation says, Mr. Fingers, get your fingers on your side.
My bad.
I invest in the next generation because leadership multiplies through mentorship. Let's break that down. First, it says, I invest in the next generation. Investment doesn't only mean money. It means giving your time, your wisdom, your guidance, and your encouragement to young people. It looks like mentoring a student, supporting a youth program, teaching life skills, or encouraging education and leadership. When we pour into young people, we strengthen the future of the community. Then the affirmation says, because leadership multiplies through mentorship. Leadership isn't meant to stay with one person. Real leadership grows when experienced people help develop others. When someone mentors a young person, they pass down knowledge, confidence, and opportunity. And that young person may go on to mentor someone else. That's how leadership multiplies. Think about it like this. One mentor can influence one young person. That young person may influence 10 more people, and suddenly the impact spreads across the entire community. So this affirmation reminds us that leadership isn't just about what we accomplish ourselves. It's about what we help others become. Because when we invest in the next generation, we don't just build individuals, we build the future. And that has been our morning affirmation.
Woo! You know what, Damali? That's good. And I am so happy that we are talking about our youth today.
Yes.
And I think the good thing about to talk about our youth today, to me, I think it's good to rewind time for a second.
Mhm.
To maybe talk about a little bit about how it was when we were
Mhm.
because I think some of our disconnection from our youth is we don't tell them about our struggle.
Mhm.
You know, we don't tell them about the bad decisions we made.
Yeah.
We don't tell them that we didn't always make the right choices. You know, we don't want to tell them that we actually acted just like you acted. You know, and I think if we start to do that, then they don't have to feel so down, feeling like my mom, my dad, my uncle, my grandma, they all got it figured out, and I'm a loser. Because you know, you may not explain that. So and also not to have that rule is do as I say, not do as I do. You know, I'm thinking of a couple of things because I think we can all say there's a disconnect between our generation and our youth.
Right.
And Damali, I'm gonna ask you, and I'm gonna ask y'all on the live as well. Why do we feel like there's such a huge disconnection between us and our youth? So this is your personal opinion as to what that is, and then maybe some tools we can use to bridge that gap to do better with it. Like there's a disconnect between our youth, and if so, why?
Okay, so it actually is 32 past the hour. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back and let's go ahead and go. Yeah, and we'll get into it.
No, you just want to try to give people time to think. I don't want to give them time to think. Because you give them too much time to think, they're going to start Googling the top 5 things that the youth don't do with adults. But anyway, I might want to give y'all some time to think. So we're going to take a quick break. Thanks for tuning in to Community Wake Up. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about our youth.
Yeah. Stop trying to get back to
that is a long segment. I agree.
Well, because we had that little hiccup.
What's that?
The little hiccup to start with no sense.
Yeah.
It was Reggie.
I don't know. I just seen that. Tell Steve to close that door.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, because then it makes the sound kind of go in there with the baker side.
So they were saying that it sounded like there was another mic on. So I just made sure that all the mics was, Uncle Bobby was saying that.
So it sounded like it was a what?
Can still hear you. Of course you can.
What? What you mean can still hear you?
No, I was reading what Richie said.
Oh.
He just said can still hear you.
Can you hear us now? Mic check, mic check. Mic check, and maybe the hearing might be in
Yeah.
Mic check. Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, something is going on with our board today. It has to do with the tornado. Ever since then, it's been kind of crazy. Something is happening. Can y'all hear now? I'm sure y'all can. Mama said no sound again. Ambrose said no sound. Uncle Brian said no sound. But now I can see the words back up on the live. So we got sound again. Yeah, I don't know. Something's going on with the board ever since the tornado hit.
We good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So we back. We back.
We're gonna work through whatever.
Yeah.
Until everything gets all the way back up on Aqua Prime. Welcome back to NYCU.FM, the community Wake Up with Charles and Damali.
Yeah.
Welcome back to KBOB 89.9 FM, where we get to tell our story our way. And welcome back to YouTube, the official World One Development news that you can use. Yeah. Today, we're talking about our youth and leadership, and I posed a question before the break. Our youth. Is there a disconnect between our generation and the youth? I believe it is. I don't know if the body believe it is, but if you believe it's a disconnect, why is that we have a disconnect between our youth and mom?
So I think that we have a disconnect because I think a lot of times what we try to do is be our children's friends instead of being their parents. We're not parenting like we used to. Because I know that my mama, when we was coming up, all she would do was give you the look. You ain't even she ain't even said nothing. And I was a crybaby when I was little. So if mama gave me a look, I start crying.
I'm trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. So are you saying it's the parents' fault? Or are you saying that's one of the reasons why?
I think that kids don't respect authority. And the reason they don't respect authority is because we've tried to be our children's friends instead of parenting and being the mentor that we need to be. Also, I think that we do a lot of things in front of our children that we shouldn't do. The one thing that, like my mom said, hey, it's grown folk. This is grown folk business. You don't got no business in here. When grown folks is talking, you need to see your way out.
Right.
You know, but we talking about stuff, we drinking, we smoking, we doing all the things. So then when our kids start doing that, now we want to, discipline them. But this is the example that you're patterning in front of them.
A question, are you preaching or teaching? You're doing one of them right now. I'm telling you right now, you're doing something. Now, y'all don't allow y'all got to know the difference. Damali has
I guess I'm preaching because Uncle Brian said preach to Damali.
And I know, I got my path. Read or continue or go on. So go ahead. I'm listening. I'm taking my notes. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, but I think that's true. And I think that maybe, like when I talk to my kids, they're like, Mama, I think we should know, we should have known about some of the things and some of the struggles that you were going through, because that would help us as young adults trying to make decisions for our families. But then I also feel like that, in you knowing everything that's going on, to me, that puts unnecessary strain on a child. A child should just be free to be a kid. Right. If you want to play football, be a cheerleader, play basketball, whatever, you should just be worried about that and your grades. That's all you need to be worried about as a child. You shouldn't have in my opinion, you shouldn't have adult problems on your shoulders. And I feel bad for kids. I know that some children whose parents are, on substance abuse and things like that. So they have to be the parent and, take care of their parents.
Right.
And I just feel like kids shouldn't have to do that. They should be able to be a kid and just experience life before life starts life. Because once you get grown, you got a whole lifetime to be grown. But you don't get those adolescent years. You don't get those young years. They don't come back.
Right. And I'm glad we're able to do this local, national, international. Because sometimes you think it's just a Tulsa problem.
Yeah.
It's a Beard and Arkansas problem. It's a LA problem. It's a Florida problem. But when you go into all different communities, it's the same symptoms. Mm-hmm. It's the same things going on. So I'm going to give you a quick take, because I can't wait to come to the live. I just want y'all fingers to have time to put your input, because most people on here got kids.
Right.
And the question is there it's a disconnect right now. We can all admit that between us and our youth. And our question is, why is that? We just want to unpack this thing so that hopefully today, when we walk away from this conversation, we can have some tools and tips on how we together can make it better for our community. Damali, I'll say, I think a little bit of the disconnect from our youth is, I feel like a lot of us came up really hard.
Yeah.
I feel like we had to get it out the mud. Mm-hmm. I feel like we was the age where our parents was working a lot and we spent a lot of time by ourselves, you know, and there's a lot of times that we felt like there was a lot of things that we did not have. So our whole time coming up, you know, and shout out to all of our parents. And also it's a lot of great youth out there because, you know, there's a lot of youth out here doing great. So this box, everybody's not in this box, you know, because some kids just come through, do good. They've been here before. That's what it is. And they just go on with life. But I feel like we end up going to college and doing everything that we can do to give the kids everything we did not have.
Correct.
We want to make sure we have a nice house and a car and the video games and all this stuff that the bikes and all of that we wish we didn't have. But then I think we end up missing the thing that we did get, which our parents would pull that old switch out on us. They'll pull that old belt. If you don't clean this house up before I get back, you still gonna have to get this spanking. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, just stop, pause, don't just stay focused. Don't know. We come to live in a minute. You know what I mean? I let you do your part. Just hold down, hold back, and stand down. But I think that because our generation has tried to give everything to our kids that we didn't get,
right?
Then we miss out on those disciplines and stuff that our parents and our grandparents in the village showed us. You know, and now, you know, left them in there by themselves, and they didn't need you to give them a video game and get them all the Jordans and Nikes and all of that stuff. They needed you and your time and your guidance as they make it through. And now we just disconnected from that. And now when you want to say, I've given you everything. Yeah, everything but you. But that's my little quick take. You gave me everything but you. I'm going to tell you one example, and we go into the live. My one example is when, same thing with me. I grew up with all these things I wish I would have had growing up. So when I was able to go to college and graduate, and wife had a degree, you get the 2-story house, you get the cars, then my kids, what you want? You want video game? There you go. You want the shoes? Because it's like you living through your kid. You're trying to give them everything you didn't have. So I get my son, I get him up in his room, I get him all this stuff I want to have, and he keep coming downstairs bothering me, you know? And I'm like, bro, you got your video game, you got your shoes, you got all these games. Why do you keep coming down here on the couch sitting by me? Right. So my son helped me because he was like, Dad, I want to play with you and I want to hang out with you. I miss you. So we grabbed a little football, grabbed a soccer ball, started going to the park. And I was like, so that helped me with my son, Khalil. So sometimes when people be like, man, your son is manable and all this kind of stuff, because my son had the heart, not check me, but he was willing to sit by me with my swole self, benching 400 pounds and say, Pops, I appreciate the video games. I appreciate all that, but I want to spend time with you. And I just listened to him. We kept rocking and rolling from that. So to the live, Damali, let's see what other tips other people have.
So my middle daughter is actually on the live. Which is why I was. So wait, before we go there, let me see. Uncle Brian said, preach, Damali. Ambrose said, preach. Lisa Chop is on. Hey, Lisa.
Welcome to the show.
Uncle Brian says, you're on point, Damali. Who else is on? So my middle daughter, Lakeisha, said, y'all grandparents need to check them kids like our parents used to. She says, seriously, we got checked by you. Don't say that, Keisha. But we got checked by you, granny, daddy, and aunties too. Sometimes it was the village. There aren't many villages nowadays. And so this is coming from the next generation.
Man, that's good. This good stuff right here. Because it's coming from the 30-year-old club.
Yes.
You know, so that's what we need.
So Richie says, very good, Charles. Dominique says, we snatched the village's privileges from keeping our kids in line when we were away. That is absolutely correct. Because I remember back in the day, my mom said, you know, they would tell me, oh, you can call this hotline, DHS hotline, if you feel like you're being abused. My mom said, on whose phone? Right. You ain't got no phone. This is my phone. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you know, so you understood authority and bad. Now, this is not for people who were being abused. I wasn't being abused, y'all. I just didn't, you know, want to hear what my mama had to say at the moment. But you know what I'm saying? You know, the bottom line is we have stripped away our ability to raise our kids, right? Because now it's like, oh, I got rights. I can call so-and-so and I can tell so-and-so and such and such. No, we had it when we was coming up as kids. You're going to do what I say. And if you're going to do what I say, you're going to get this switch on them bridges. That's what you're going to get.
Right.
You know, period. Let's see. Who else had? Uncle Brian said, Uncle Brian said, I totally agree with Damali. We have overcompensated with our kids for the things that we didn't have, and they need more one-on-one time with people instead of being a slave to social media and to a screen.
Man,
Yikes.
yeah.
David Banks said, good morning, cuzzo.
What's going on, fam? Hey, look, let me tell you something. As long as David Banks don't write a book, I'm going to be all right. But if he write a book on me, I'm going to write a book on him too. We're going to both be right. Yeah, welcome to the show, cuzzo. Miss you, man.
AJ is saying that basically it's these electronics. He wrote a big long paragraph. But anyway, he said basically it's these electronics, and that these young parents need to be educated just as much as older parents in order to change the disconnect to being mature and being responsible. When older parents try to connect with the younger children, they have, as Charles says, one season. They are off the chain. And Lakeisha said, agreed. So, basically the consensus is, we need to have more village principles,
right?
Because when we were a village, and I can remember that too. I can remember my mama's rule was when she was gone, we were supposed to stay in the house. But soon as we got to see my mama, her tail lights was gone. We outside like party. We outside, right. Yeah. And Miss Betsy said, "Hey,
yeah,
I see y'all. Your mama gone and you ain't supposed to be outside. You better get back in that house."
I think another thing too to think about is, and I think Keisha or Kim said it, the village.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal: growing up, you can remember your pastor's name.
Mm-hmm.
You know your teacher's name. Mm-hmm. You know the person that works at the store.
Yeah.
Shoot, you even know the person that works at the liquor store. But we ain't gonna talk about that part on Friday nights. We ain't gonna talk about the fish fry the liquor store run. We ain't gonna talk about that part of it. But I'm just saying that is still the village.
Yeah.
It could be a person that's not even your relative.
Yeah.
And your mama listen, you'll be like, "Mama, how you gonna listen to a stranger?" It don't matter. Because when you're outside of this house, you are a representation of this family. Mm-hmm. I think we respected the family name.
Oh, yeah.
The family legacy.
Yeah.
We cared about what grandpa and grandma did for us. Mm-hmm. It's like who we were mattered. Mm-hmm. Versus, I just want to do my own thing. I want to do, and I'm like, that's cool, but you're still tied to a name.
You're still tied to a name.
You can't just do your own thing.
Yeah.
And that's where
it matters.
Teaching the stories and the history of your family come into play. You don't want to, you done had 5 generations, now you want to do your own thing and just go roll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. So I think that, Damali, like you said, we got to find a way to let these kids hang out with grandma no more. Mm-hmm. Because I think because of electronics, who want to go hang out with grandma when you can play Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Think about it. Go hang out at grandma's house or play Call of Duty.
Yeah. Cousin Bernie said parents don't seem to have time for their kids. They allow them to engage with technology and leave them alone.
I agree.
So yeah, that's just some of the things. Thank you guys for your comments. We appreciate that. But we do definitely need to figure out how to get back to the village mentality because that always worked for our community, So
we're going to give some meat and potatoes. Let's talk about some local, national, and international things that people are doing as it pertains to our youth. And then let's unpack what they're saying together.
Okay, so because we know that strong communities are built when experienced leaders take time to guide the next generation, right here in Tulsa, mentoring programs continue to grow through schools, nonprofits, and community organizations that focus on helping young people succeed. Programs like the Dream Center, like EduRec Youth and Family Fund Center, like Crossover.
I think we have to touch on them because we got so many local, national, international listeners. They might not know what Dream Center, EduRec.
Well, these are local. Okay. So,
but I'm just
like
give them a snippet of what they are. So the Dream Center, if you was listening yesterday, Pastor Tim was on, and he's the executive director of the Dream Center. They do medical, it's after school program, they do sports, and all those things that go on. So back to the lecture at hand.
Right. So these programs, they have academic tutoring, leadership development, career exposure, mentorship, relationships between adults and students. They're trying to bridge the gap to make sure that our young folks are tuned into what's really going to be necessary and needed for them as they mature into adults. The other thing which I thought was really powerful that Pastor Tim said on yesterday when he was talking about some of the programming that's offered at the Dream Center is they fill gaps. So if you are because there are some young students that are actually working to pay for where they live.
Right.
Unlike some, in my household where I, as a parent, took care of, making sure that my children had somewhere to live. Some children are actually doing it for themselves. And so what he talked about was if a person had to choose between getting their car repaired or actually going to school, then Pastor Tim is like, hey, we can help step in to help you get that car repaired because we want you to continue to stay in school.
Right.
So there are programs out there. The thing that happens in our community is we don't ask for help.
Right.
Everybody is just kind of like, hey, I'm in my own silo. I don't want you all up in my business. I don't want you to think I'm a failure or a loser. So I'm not going to ask for no help. And when there are resources and there's help that's out there that's available.
But Damali, here's the thing. They got that from who?
Exactly.
So when the youth try to do it all on their own, they got to remember they watch mama, they watch daddy sit, with probably still had their Bible with some scriptures because no matter what's going on, we still probably gonna have that Bible, but they still watch mama try to do it all by herself. Mama got 4 or 5 jobs, and the kids probably be like, hey, ask grandma, ask somebody. I got this. I don't want the people in my business. I'm gonna do what I got to do. So when the kids do that, you got to remember that's probably a learned behavior that they got from their parents.
So Lakeisha says, no, for real. You was getting told on in Granny's neighborhood. The whole hood knew each other. She ain't lying, because we've been living in that neighborhood since I was 4 years old. And so everybody knew everybody. And she said now neighbors barely even know each other anymore. And that's true. And I can, because I'm telling you, I'm one of those people. I just, mind my own business. I drive right down my street into my garage, and that's that.
Well, let me ask you the difference. What's the difference between, like you said, in your mom, where she lived, it was the entire community. That was the village. So what makes you now, a generation removed from that, now say, I just mind my business. I don't engage with the village. I don't mess with my neighbor. I just go home and mind my business. So, well,
I think it's more so, for one, because I am an empty nester, so I don't have little kids at home. So I don't feel like I need to be all out there in the community. You know what I'm saying? For me, if I had children, then I want to know who are my children's friends, who they playing with, who's in the neighborhood, making sure there ain't no pedophiles. Hey, I want to make sure that my neighborhood is safe for my children. So at this age, because I don't have children, small children at home, then I think that's why I am more disconnected. But I think that back in the day, and Elmer Palmer, he was our neighbor. He lived on the next block over. But I think we're all engaged because we all went to school together. We walked to school together. Our school we went to Douglas Elementary, which is now the police station on 36th Street. But we walked, so it may be 4 blocks, 5 blocks, whatever, that we would walk to school. So it would be a group of us. We would all meet at the corners and, we'd all just kind of walk together. So it was more like a family, more communal.
I think what happened is it's kind of some of the things that helped us, hurt us at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'll say for me, once I got older, I went away to college, so it's kind of like I left the village that I grew up in, so for 2 or 3 generations, we all in that village. I grew up with my great-grandparents, my grandparents, my aunties, my cousins, and all of them. But then when you go away to college and you decide not to go back home, because I came to Oklahoma at 21 and I never returned back home. So the village is different because now you're trying to create relationships with people that you don't know, that you didn't grow up with. And to be honest, I don't really trust people like that because every time you look at the news, somebody kidnapping somebody, some pedophile out here, something going on. So I think that it ends up, if you're not at home with the people, but you know what, to be honest, sometimes you have to watch the people at home.
Yeah, you better say that.
Maybe the people closer to you doing some stuff that's tricky.
You better say
anyway, that part. But anyway, I'm just going to say, I did love growing up in that village. And even now, I'll meet my neighbors. But we just live in a time now where people just be like, man, I'm just minding my own business.
Yeah,
you mind yours and I mind mine. But then people don't look out for you the same.
Nope, they don't.
So can we agree, local, national, and international, how can we find a way, Damali, to get back to being in the village? Because here's the thing, how long have you been living in your home?
Since when I moved my house, 2008.
So it would be good for you to have a good relationship with your neighbors, because imagine when you go on the way, if somebody try to break in your house or your house is on fire or something, it's good to have a good neighbor. And you have their phone number where they can call you and say, hey, so let's just find a way, hopefully before the show is over, is what few steps can we take to get back to having that village and having that community feel again.
Yeah. Dominique said, we always ate at the dinner table and talked about our days, let the kids vent respectfully. And of course, I kept them covered in prayer and allowed our kids to pray out loud to see their own spiritual relationships. If they don't, it's not because they weren't taught, but I think they still are developing spiritually. And then Larry Harris is on.
Larry?
Hey, Mr. Larry, how are you?
What's going on, family?
Yes. Okay. So on the national front, across the country, youth mentorship is gaining renewed attention as leaders recognize the impact mentoring has on education and workforce development. National organizations like My Brother's Keepers Alliance continue working to improve opportunities for young men of color through mentorship, education support, and leadership training. Studies show that young people who have mentors are more likely to graduate from high school, pursue higher education, develop leadership skills, and avoid risky behaviors. Right. Mentorship helps young people see possibilities that they may not see on their own. On the international front, around the world, mentorship programs are expanding as countries invest in youth leadership and education. International initiatives supported by groups like the United Nations Children's Fund focus on providing mentorship, education access, and leadership development for young people in developing communities. These programs aim to prepare youth to become future leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators who can help strengthen their communities. Investing in young people is a global priority. So mentorship isn't just about guidance, it's about legacy, which is what you were talking about, your family's name. When adults take time to mentor youth, they pass down wisdom, opportunity, confidence, leadership values. And because leadership multiplies when knowledge is shared, and when we invest in the next generation, we strengthen the future of the entire community.
Hey, let's do this. 57 after the hour. Man, it's almost 70 degrees already here in Tulsa. Let's take a quick break, and hopefully our sound don't do nothing crazy because we're trying to get the electronics back online. Unless you just want to stay and we just go into what we're going to talk about next, because we take a break, you never know what's going to happen with the sound.
Yeah, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
They just keep going.
Yeah.
Well, let's switch over to this, Damali, because we were youth at some point. And on the live, what I want to ask, outside of your mom and dad and your village, I just want to ask the people, where did you, if you look up and said, okay, I was a mentee, this was a mentor. Let's talk about the most effective mentor that you feel like you had as a youth that helped shape who you are today. So the question is, when you was a youth, who outside of your family, outside of grandma, grandpa, and all of them, who outside of that, whether it was a coach or a church or a friend, whoever it was, who helped mentor you that you can give kudos to today, that helped you be who you are today outside of just your immediate family?
For me, it was Viola Patterson and Bobby Johnson.
Girl,
Both
you went
them,
straight to the names?
Yeah. They were teachers at Carver and Booker T.
Okay.
And they
No, I need some more information. They done shape you all up. You got your hair all braided up and your eyelashes on. Hold on. So give me a little more context. Is this is 5th grade, 10th? I just want to understand.
So middle school, it would have been 7th and 8th grade, and then high school, so 9th and 10th grade. Okay. But those teachers were individuals who I took business courses with. Oh, okay. And Miss Patterson would always say, dress for where you're trying to go, not where you are.
It is in middle school?
Yeah. And so so that's where I started wearing business suits. So if you see some of my high school pictures, I'm in business suits. I'm probably one of the only students in business suits. And I modeled that, after my Aunt Esther, I talk about all the time, but because I always thought she was just the GOAT, because she worked for St. John and was the head of housekeeping.
Let me ask you about your mentor. What about her allowed you to respect her and what she said, and for her to be that much of an influence on your life?
She was just both of them, and I'll tell you another person too, was Miss Truth over at McLean. Now she was at a whole nother school, but she was still a mentor in the community. She was over the cosmetology program over at McLean, and I went and got my eyebrows done. I used to go get my eyebrows done all the time over at McLean. But those women were strong Black women. They were elegant. professional.
Oh,
They spoke
okay.
well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They,
All right.
you know, I mean, and they were, when they spoke, they commanded rooms. So when
Okay.
they spoke, you knew that they were speaking.
Right.
Right. And so I was just like, wow, you know, I want to be that type of individual when I grow up, you know. So yeah, it was just that strong Black professional, you know, I'm in my bag kind of, you know, woman that I saw, which means it made me want to exhibit that same thing, you know. So if we're not talking about relatives, then those are the women.
Well, let me ask again to the live, and
Mhm.
I'll give one and we'll go to the live. Who was a person when you were as a kid? This is outside mom and dad, because we gave kudos to mom and dad and grandma and all of them.
Right.
Who is somebody that you looked up to and looked at as a mentor, even if they didn't even know?
Mhm.
But this is a person that inspired you as a youth to help you be who you are today. And I'll go to one, and I got a few. Ronald J. Sally.
Mm.
In the 4th grade, I started taking Taekwondo.
Okay.
You know, I started taking it because I wanted to beat up somebody. No, I'm just playing.
He ain't lying.
No, I ain't lying. You know what?
I already went down there and I heard about the list.
My motivation was off. But you know, when you're a kid and you bored, you roughhouse all the time. You want to wrestle all the time. You want to do all of that. And I was little. I was like, man, I need something else. I need something more. These kids are too big. I don't know what they're eating. So Ronald J helped me. But what Ronald J did for me is to help me to use my words, to help me negotiate situations, to be disciplined.
Mhm.
You know, don't be so quick to anger. You know, and so while I was in there taking my little Taekwondo, and then we used to take the Taekwondo classes at the church.
Mm-hmm.
But what I loved about Ronald J, it wasn't just he was just teaching me Taekwondo. He would talk to me about my life and the things that he would see that I was doing outside of Taekwondo.
Mm-hmm.
Charles, you doing good in a Taekwondo class, but you got to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You
Mhm.
can't say yeah,
Mhm.
what.
Mhm.
You can't do that. Now, I know your mama, because you know my mom. See, that's the village.
Yeah.
So I know Salisu not gonna let you do that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: a lot of times when kids leave home, they don't act the same.
Yep.
So he gave me an example that who you are when nobody's watching
That's right.
is
Mhm.
really who you are.
Yeah.
So even though this karate gonna give you some discipline in these areas, you got to still remember when your mom and dad and them are gone. That's why I'm asking about people that impact you outside of your house.
Mhm.
Then Ronald J was one, because now when I'm out and I'm about to cuss or do something, I don't always think about my mom or dad or my grandma or what they may say. I also would think about Ronald J.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because he's like, hey, well, what are you doing when nobody's around?
Mhm.
So that'll be one that I say, Ronald J. Man, he was a karate. He probably a 10th degree black belt by now. But anyway, that's one person for me.
Mhm.
So we go into the live. Who was a person, whether they knew or didn't know, but there was a mentor that helped and shaped and mold who you are today.
So Dominique said our cousin Carl Hartley would let me help him when he was adding rooms on his house.
Yeah.
Dang, how many rooms he had, y'all?
Man, he was always building. So he done built houses and rooms all around the neighborhood. You know, you look up, he just be framing up something. I didn't want no parts of it. I was gone, but he right. I remember when we lived by him, he was always building something.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, I have saved a lot of money doing self-help. He said, and then Feast or Ride Out, my father-in-law gave me some great life skills as a young adult. Larry Harris said, in school, Gilcrease, all the gym coaches.
Ooh,
all of them.
All of them?
All of them.
Shout out, what school?
Gilcrease.
Shout out to Gilcrease back in, when is the 80s or the 90s, 2000, whenever it was.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Richie Anderson said Joe Williams and Jane Malone and many others were a part of that village. They were supportive and did not mind telling me what I needed to hear. Now you sure right, because Jane Malone, yeah, she gonna tell you. Dominique said Charles didn't take me with him.
Yeah, because we'd be wrestling. He wasn't being to wrestle because my brother got big.
Yes.
Like, no, I ain't gonna let you know what I know.
Exactly. Keisha said Ferdine Willis. Mama Willis.
Rest in
Yes,
peace.
yes.
Rest in peace.
Teresa Elliott said, good morning, my older sister, for another 2 weeks.
Good morning, Teresa. Welcome to the show.
And then who else? AJ said, my physical education teacher, Mr. Bradford, noticed I would wear a slack shirt and a tie to school as a 4th grader. He asked me why I wore church clothes to school. I said, I like to look good.
On my mama,
Yes.
on my hood. I look fly.
Yeah, he said,
Never
I like
mind.
to look good and dress good. He told me I will be a business owner. To make this short, it became true because of Mr. Bradford.
Man.
And Ambrose said the golf community at Jackson Park Golf Course. Okay, because that's right. Ambrose, you grew up in Chicago, right? So the golf community at Jackson Park Golf Course. So those are some good ones. Those are some really good ones.
Here's the deal. That's what makes our generation different. You see how fast we can run off those names.
Ambrose said Chicago.
You know, so I feel like we need to find a way for our kids, you know, that may not want to speak to us about the problems they have or what they're going through. We got to find a way to connect again. But I think somebody said it earlier, maybe we have stripped that from our teachers. Maybe we have stripped that from our coaches. Maybe we've stripped that because the coaches and the teachers can't do what they used to do back in the day. Because back in the day, you get in trouble, you got to get out there. You got to get out that hallway and assume the position.
Hey, Elmer, you remember Mr. McGowan and that paddle? He had these holes drilled in the paddle. He was our art teacher. Right. And he had these holes drilled in the paddle, boy. And if you show out, they send you down there to Mr. McGowan.
Can I ask about everybody that probably had to get a paddle? And I did. Sound like
I did.
So let me ask y'all, do we feel like maybe the difference in our youth in us is because you can exercise that right? See, the whole community could give us a whooping. You get your butt whooping at school, you get your butt whooping at church, you get your butt whooping at the gas station, grandma, uncle, auntie,
it didn't matter.
Your big sister, your big brother. So Damali, do you think maybe that's the disconnect? Now I ain't saying y'all start whooping folks now.
Right.
But what I am saying, do you think that's maybe the difference between our youth now and us? I'm asking y'all too on the line. Do you think maybe the difference is the discipline that the village had over each kid in the community? And wasn't no grandma, mama showing up, fussing and cussing and doing all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm asking you first, Damali, do you think that everybody being able to have the patterns in school is always debatable? So I know we got to be careful on what we say because people say, y'all wasn't doing nothing but traumatizing the kids. I think I was traumatized a little bit because if I see a switch now, I'd be like, what you want me to do? But anyway, Damali, I'm just going to ask you because the beauty of the Wake Up is we just trying to find a way to do better as a community. Do you think that discipline that you can still get from everybody is also shaped and mold you, or maybe it was just listening to people? I don't know.
Well, I think that discipline comes in many forms. And so maybe you didn't have to have that physical punishment. I'm going to tell you right now, I was scared of my mama. I ain't even going to lie. My mama, you know, she was a disciplinarian. Now, my mama was loving and kind, but you show out and you going to get it. And that was just the bottom line. So I can remember times when, you know, they would say, do you want to get swats or do you want us to call your mama? I said swats for 200 because I don't call her because she going to come up here and go nuts.
Now, that's when you know you got discipline at home.
Yes.
It's because do you want swats at school or to call my mama? And I'll just say to the young people, and I love y'all. So when y'all see me, give me a hug and a high five. I'm just saying, stop going to the school cussing out everybody.
Man.
The coaches and the teachers that's actually trying to help your kid. Now, it's different if somebody does something to your kid that's right. I understand that. But like Damali said, it's tough to be your kid's friend. Now, every time somebody try to redirect your kid, whether it's a coach or teacher or pastor or youth pastor or anybody, you jump to 1,000 and crash out. On the teachers, you crash out on the coaches, you're cussing out everybody. So now, what kind of example are we being, you know, to the youth, you know, when we do that? Because I can tell you now, when we was growing up, if your mama had to put on that bonnet and her house shoes and come to the school.
That's why I said the swats, please.
You might well say Andre the Giant was coming to the school. Because the whole school would be on high alert that your mama is at school in her gown. Our parents, I don't know if it was about love or to say I kill you somewhere, but our parents would come to the school with a bonnet on in their gown with the house shoes on and come into the principal's office to come in there,
get over her
until you get over here.
When they hold their teeth, get over her right now. You be like, dang,
I ain't got a chance to put a wig on or nothing, you know. But nevertheless, Damali, let's just unpack. Do you think that maybe just taking all the discipline out of the schools was just a bit too much?
Yeah, I think so. Uncle Brian says that his my grandmother was my role model, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today without her. Right. She taught me how to read and about world events and history. Cousin Pearlie said Mildred McKinney was her English teacher and her high school principal, and Mr. Keaton. They spoke life after graduation into us. Jeremiah said, I had a village, so the list is large. Dominique said, yep, the village did not have to whoop you, but they embarrassed you real good. Exactly, right?
Get your retarded self.
Yes,
no, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
They might say that.
No, they probably did, yeah. Uncle Brian said, I had a teacher, Miss Smith, who taught us respect in school, and she used to use the fan belt to discipline the kids. Our hands stayed sore. You know they teach they get that ruler, tat, 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 tat. Yeah.
You can't spell. Put
right, exactly. Eli talking about that's those country moms. City moms would just wait until they got off work and saw you at home. Well, you know that's true.
In the city, city mom
was like, I got to go. But no, we even had them moms like, because I used to tell my kids, if I got to get off of my job to come down there to that school, you know you gonna get it. Right. You know, so my kids like, don't call my granny. But mama wasn't much better. Dominique said, yes, the school does need some leverage on the kids. Dr. Keaton was the man. Yeah. So
I can tell you now, I don't know if y'all been to a school lately, and I'm not saying this is all schools. I am not saying that. But boy, schools is rough. Shout out to all of the teachers.
Yes.
You know, because like I know our teachers had to have easier back in the day. Because like Damali said, do you want some swats? Or do you want me to call your mama and say, punish me? Please. Just don't call my mama. Think about that for a minute.
Don't
just
call.
Whatever you do, don't call nobody in my family. Do what you got to drown me. Do anything to me. Just don't call.
Just don't call.
So I just want to give a kudos and shout out to our parents and our grandparents and our village that raised us. And thank you for allowing us to have a community to wake up morning show with Charles and Damali because of the discipline that you have given us. And I know some of those disciplines have spilled over to our kids as well, but we have to balance it a little bit because here at the end of the day, Damali, none of us are going to be perfect. We got to give everybody a little bit of grace, but we do have to find a way to bring our village ways back. Yeah, you know, and I think you still have some areas that do still have a village. You know,
and we still can have villages. You know, we just, I mean, they just, you know, we as a community need to define what our village looks like.
And I'm just saying that I feel like our EdRec Youth and Family Fund Center is like a village still.
It is.
Because we got the seniors, we got young people, we got youth helping. And guess what? We do our summer camp, and our summer camp and spring break camp is called Unplugged. And you just don't know the difference in camps and daycares or whatever you have if you just pull those electronics. And it is what it is. We tell the parents, well, if they bring their phone, they got to put it in a box to the end of the day. But you know what? It starts to allow EdRec to look like it looked when I was a kid. Because what it used to look like before we made it unplugged is all the kids come in and guess what they do? It can be 50 youth and it will be quiet because everybody is on their phone. And you'll be thinking, well, who you meet today? Nobody. How was it today? Good. You know, well, what did you learn? Nothing. Well, no, this is not going to work. Took them phones away. Damali, how long did it take for these kids to start playing games together, to start interacting? Becoming great friends and all of those good things. And they had a blast and was woke out. By the time they go home, I mean, we didn't have parents pack their kids out, you know, just limp because they just tired. But here, we're going to go to the live really quick. Darlene Weston said, this generation don't fear no one. Some of them run their household and some of them run their parents and the parents fear the kids. Hold on, Doc. We're going to take a break. It's 15 after the hour because Darlene done started something. When we come back, we have to ask the question is why are the parents now afraid of the kids? And we're going to have to get these segments moving because we got a whole bunch more stuff we got to get to. And what problems, if you scared of your kid, imagine sending that kid out into this world. Like that part, everybody else if you're scared of them. Now you scared, but they got to go to school, they got to go to work, they got to go out to football games and basketball. This is what you're sending out. Because if you don't deal with it in your house. Here's the thing. If you don't deal with it, somebody got to deal with it. Let's unpack that next. On the Community Wake Up with Charles and Damali. We'll be right back. Hopefully the technology working right. I said that, but we can come back and do whatever you want. Community Wake Up with Charles and Damali, and we are back live in studio. Hopefully that volume is working. Do you see the letters come up? Do you see the stuff coming up, Damali? You do? Okay, great. You're locked in on NYCU.FM. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, even after the show, stay locked in to our radio station. We play the absolute best R&B and those throwbacks. You're also tuned in, and we're syndicated on KBOB 89.9 FM over there with Uncle Bobby, where we get to tell our story our way. We also live on YouTube, the official World One Development News. You can use the model. We've been talking about our youth.
Yep.
And what we can do to help our youth do better, which is also going to help us do better, which is going to bring about a better future for us all.
Absolutely. So we got a couple of comments, and then we'll go to our Black Wall Street Family Feud.
Oh, wait a minute. What is it called?
The Black Wall Street Family Feud.
Oh, this is going to be the hottest game in the whole country. Let's
yes.
go.
Okay. So our Darlene Weston said, no, I already did Darlene. I'm sorry. So Lakeisha says, I had to start giving them people my big sister's number. Please do not call Damali. Really, Keisha?
So we're going to implement something. Call this number. Call this person. Let you know, burn the whole school down.
Right. Dominique said, Lily has shown parents the video of our kids being guilty, and the parents would still defend the kid and cuss them out. Because that's right. His wife works in the school, right?
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. Eli said, I usually got to write on the blackboard. Eli will not talk in class 500 times after school.
Can you imagine Eli not talking? I know he'd be sitting there like, Eli, you gonna write it 500 times? Okay, let me just say this one little thing. I got one little history fact for you. He got it right.
Some of it is, so AJ says some of it is because children have been taught the 911 at home and school, which has scared parents from going to jail and losing their jobs, which is their income taken from the family due to the government. Yeah, I agree with that too.
And I'll say the worst thing these days, now we got to go over to our Black Wall Street thing, is when these kids claim that their parents did something that they didn't. To me, that's the worst thing that can happen to a
because
parent.
they've been taught.
Because you got people already doing stuff, but when a kid goes to the level of saying my parent touched me or my parent abused me and they didn't, I think that's like that's the biggest disservice.
And it's like the parents are always presumed guilty.
Man, and not just by it's by everybody. Because the minute a child says somebody did this or did that, everybody, you got to almost go with that first, because there's been so many times it has been happening, people didn't. So that puts a parent in a real bad situation. Yeah. Anyway, in a lighter note, let's go to this game, because I feel like being a winner on this Tuesday. Let's go.
Teresa says some households are turning out unloved children onto the world, and that's a problem. Yeah, she right. Okay, so here we go. Black Wall Street Family Feud. Okay, so this is the mentoring and youth edition. Okay, so today's theme is mentoring and youth, and because every strong community understands that leadership grows when we pour into the next generation.
Tell all the new people how the show works.
We asked 100 people in the community these questions, and they gave us their top answer. So you ain't going against, you can't Google it. Because the 100 people ain't people that you know, probably.
Let me tell you the 100 people. Because I be tracking Damali and I track her movement. Because she got a car and she drives very fast. So for 25 people was from Camden, Arkansas. If you know about Camden, Arkansas, she was down there in Camden asking 25 people. Then I saw located in Owasso, Oklahoma. I don't know what she was doing down there. I think she was shopping at Walmart. She was asking people questions. Then I looked up again, and she was down in the Gulf Coast of the Mississippi.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what she was doing in Mississippi. I thought she was home.
Visiting Jeremiah.
But she was down there. And then the last place she was located in Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
She was down in Funky Town, Texas, asking 25 people these questions. So she the only one got the answer.
Yep.
But we gonna get the answer today because we are motivated and ready.
So here we go. Question number 1. Name something a mentor teaches that you usually don't learn in a classroom. Is it A, how to handle failure? Is it B, how to build relationships? Is it C, how to carry yourself with confidence? Or is it D, how to make wise life decisions? Look, Charles praying.
We got music, Mr. Producer. Do we have music? Yeah,
Look, he's stressed out.
No, see, you know what I'm saying? That could be. There we go. Read it one more time.
All right, question 1. Name something a mentor teaches that you usually don't learn in a classroom. Is it A, how to handle failure? Is it B, how to build relationships? Is it C, how to carry yourself with confidence? Or is it D, how to make life decisions? So looks like Dominique says D.
D.
AJ says D. So we got Dominique.
I feel good. D is my
and
answer.
AJ, we got Charles. C. Uncle Brian says C. Teresa says C. All right. Anybody else? Get your answers in. I'll read the question one more time.
You done came up to Black Wall Street trivia. We done jumped up to over 1,000 people on our live. Thank y'all for tuning in. See, that's what I'm saying. The secret listeners been hanging out.
Elmer says A.
We get to the trivia now. Everybody want to come out the woodwork. So I see y'all.
Richie says D. Who else? Richie Prentice says D. Mom says C. All right, we're going to give you one more time. I'm going to read it one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and tell you the answer. Darlene said C. Who else? Okay, I'm going to read it one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer. The question is, number 1 question is, name something a mentor teaches that you usually don't learn in a classroom. Is it A, how to handle failure? Is it B, how to build relationships? Is it C, how to carry yourself with confidence? Or is it D, how to make life decisions? Looks like, okay. And so if you said A, which would be the only person is Elmer.
Again?
Yes.
No, hold on.
You are correct.
No. Give me this pen. Hold on. See, this what's going on, y'all. This what's going on. See, Elmer grew up across the street from the mom.
No, around the corner. He lived in the cul-de-sac.
Same thing. Right around the corner. So they think alike. So don't feel like your parents let you down. See, they grew up in the same community, so they think alike. And remember, Damali is asking 100 people. It's not something you can research. So we got to go, at this point, we got to go to Damali's community.
Right.
Talk to her bitch. Kim and Keisha, I'm glad y'all on the line. We got to talk to them, got to talk to her mama, talk to her teachers, and talk to Elmer, because this 2 times he done this to us. Go ahead and read the question, I ain't got time for this right now.
Oh, I got you, Pearlie and Keisha. I got y'all answers too, but they were not correct. Elmer was the only one who got it correct. Hey, Laura, how are you?
Laura, welcome to the show.
Okay, so here we go. Question number 2 on the Black Wall Street Family Feud.
I thought you were supposed to get some commentary as to why that's the answer.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that. Thank you so much.
Why you and Elmer came up with this foolishness? We need to know why you and Elmer came up with this.
So what they say is many mentors teach young people something powerful, how to recover when things don't go as planned. Mentors teach resilience. So that's how we come to A. They teach you how to handle failure.
That's true. I can't debate that.
All right, so here we go. Question number 2.
Okay.
Name something a young person gains when they see someone who looks like them succeed. Is it A, hope, B, motivation, C, confidence, or D, a sense of possibility?
Hope.
Hope. You said A. Charles is on the A train.
Hope. I'm not sure if that's what I'm gonna stay with.
Oh, good God. You can only pick one answer.
Today. Let's read it. Read it one more time.
Question one more time is, name something a young person gains when they see someone who looks like them succeed. Is it A, hope, B, motivation, C, confidence, or D, a sense of possibility?
All of the above.
Richie says A with Charles. Let's see.
That's still tough.
Dominique, let me see. Richie says A. Dominique says D. Elmer says A. Teresa says C. Pearlie says A. World One Development says B. Okay. AJ says A. Eli says all of the above. Bro, that is not a
Eli.
That's not a choice.
Eli.
That is not a choice.
Eli, I agree. I agree.
Uncle Brian says A. Lorena, hey, Lorena, how are you? She says A.
Yeah, Eli, if you show that, we're going to do a show live from Eli's.
Laura says D.
We're going to do a show live from Eli's swimming pool.
Okay,
if it gets 80 degrees again, we're going to be live from Eli's swimming pool. Now, we're going to tell you where he lives.
Right.
But we're going to be in the water. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. Okay, is that everybody that's going to comment? So I'll read the question one more time and then I'm going to give you the answer. The question is, name something a young person gains when they see someone who looks like them succeed. Is it A, hope, B, motivation, C, confidence, or D, a sense of possibility? Now, Charles, Richie, Elmer, Pearlie, AJ, Brian, and Lorena said A. World One Development said B. Teresa said C. And Donnie and Laura said D. And the people who said D, they are correct. Donnie and Laura, a sense of possibility. When a young person sees role models who shares their background, it expands their vision of what's possible. Representation can change how a young person sees their future.
Good job, bro.
I think that's really good.
This was in my DNA.
Okay.
I see the possibility was I could have got it. It was possible.
But you
my
didn't.
little bro got it. I just did, but it was a possibility. So shout out to my bro and Laura. Man, I'm 0 for 2.
Now.
I got my thinking cap on.
Okay, here we go. Question number 3. Name something mentors must do before they can truly guide young people. Is it A, listen, B, earn trust, C, show patience, or D, understand their challenges?
Earn trust.
That would be B. Okay?
Because ain't nobody fooling with nobody if they don't trust them. I don't trust you. Get away from me.
Okay, so Charles says B.
And I'm sticking to that answer. I don't care what the answer is. See, I'm in my feelings now. So don't y'all get in your feelings.
Laura said, I was just talking about this very thing with my husband because I love the movies like Rudy and McFarlane. Yes,
Man,
Rudy and McFarlane USA. Yeah, I love movies like
Read
this.
your question again. Make sure I'm going to stick with my answer because you know I'll change on you.
You sure will. Okay, name something mentors must do before they can trust women. Name something mentors must do before they can truly guide young people. Is it A, listen, B, earn trust, C, show patience, or D, understand their challenges? So Uncle Brian says C.
I'm still
Charles
going with
said
earn
B.
trust. I'm still going with earn trust.
Eli said all of the above. Will you knock it off?
Eli, we do. need that
Keisha
all of the
said
above.
A. Mom said A. Richie said B.
Damali, what you trying to do to the?
I just asked the question.
Hey.
100 people got the answer. Darlene says A.
Girl, I went to Fort Worth, Camden,
Pearlie. Laura said A.
and the Gulf Coast of the Mississippi. And actually,
World One Development said B. AJ said D. That's my wild card.
Look, at this point,
Elmer said A. Dominique said B. Yep, Dominique, I didn't get you. Elmer said A. I got Elmer. Look, Eli talking about y'all describing the Epstein files. Get out of here. Stop it. Knock it off.
Not the Epstein files. You know we can have a whole show on that, but we try not to.
Look, and then Lorena gonna say A or C. Which one is it? Pick one. I love this.
Look, I'm 0-2. I understand. I got to get this one right. I don't have no choice. If not, how can I be on the show and not get none of them right?
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna read the question one more time with the selections, and then we're gonna go with the answer.
Okay.
All right. So the question was, name something mentors must do before they can truly guide young people. Is it A, listen, B, earn trust, C, show patience, or D, understand their challenges? Now, Elmer, Keisha, Mom, Darlene, and Laura said A, listen. Charles, Richie, Pearlie, and World One Development said B, earn trust. Brian and Donnie said C, show patience. And AJ said D, understand their challenges. Teresa just got in and said A, but A is not the correct answer. The correct answer is B, earn trust. Charles got one.
Good. I'm back.
So what they say is young people.
No, hold on. Let me take in.
He's got to bask in his glory.
Let me just bask in the sunlight on Black Wall Street. That I finally got an answer. And my ancestors answered for me. And I just want to say thank you. Okay, I'm back focused.
Oh, all right. So they say young people are more likely to listen and learn when they trust the person guiding them. Mentorship begins with trust. All right, so the bonus round. Y'all
So
ready?
if you're looking to be a mentor, what you're saying is make sure the people trust you.
Laura said, yes, that's what we're saying. Laura said, yeah, you did it. She said,
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for celebrating with me.
yes,
So I
she's like
celebrated
Dora
with
the
you and
Explorer.
Donnie.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bonus round.
3 points.
3 points. Let's
Okay.
make it 3
3
points.
points.
That's what you say. All right, so the bonus round. Name something today's youth may need more of from the community than previous generations did.
Ooh, read that one more time. Just a question.
Name something today's youth may need more of from community than previous generations did.
Oh my goodness.
Is it A, positive role models? Is it B, safe spaces to learn and grow? Is it C, mental health support? Or is it D, career guidance?
All of the above. Oh, you didn't say that one.
Keisha said, I suck at this.
Keisha, I feel you. Look, I'm a 1 and 2. So and it's your mama doing it. Now you got her same DNA. So now me, I'm an outsider looking in trying to get it right. Keisha. Now Elma over there across the street around the corner, he been right on point. But read that one more time because I think I got it. I got it.
Name something today's youth may need more of from the community than previous generations did. Is it A, positive role models? Is it B, safe spaces to learn and grow? Is it C, mental health support? Or is it D, career guidance and opportunity?
I'm going to say mental health support.
Okay, so that's C. So
2026.
Charles says C.
Mental health support.
Richie says C.
Uh-oh, I'm feeling better. What Pearlie said?
Donnie says C. Uncle Brian says A. AJ says C. Who else? Richie. All right, y'all. Anybody else?
Hey, y'all do me a favor. Remember, share this live. Because even though we're dropping a lot of good nuggets that'll help the young people,
Laura,
the seasoned people, black, white, green, all yellow people.
Teresa.
We're everybody family. So share it and let 5 friends know about the show. We appreciate it.
Prentice.
Prentice, I just asked about you. I'm like, is this his first answer?
Elmer. No, he answered a while ago.
My bad. Where Prentice at?
He said C.
Okay.
Okay, so I have Dominique, Uncle Brian, AJ, Laura, Teresa, Prentice, Elmer, and World One Development, and Charles. Anybody else? Come on, Keisha, what you got?
Keisha, what you got? Did she say the show sucks or did
She
she
said
say
she sucks at this.
No, you don't, Keisha. Just hang in there. Hang in there. We're in it together.
All right, I will read the question one more time
Give
with
the
answer. Name something today's youth may need more of from the community than previous generations did. Is it A, positive role models? Is it B, safe spaces to learn and grow? Is it C, mental health support? Or is it D, career guidance and opportunity? The correct answer is A. Uncle Brian and Laura, you got it. Young people often look for examples of leadership, integrity, and success within their own community. So the bigger message is this. Mentorship is not just about giving advice. It's about helping young people see their value, their potential, and their purpose. Because when communities guide their youth, they don't just prepare the next generation, they protect the future.
You know why I go with that answer? I say it's right.
Why?
This is my 2 cents.
Mhm.
I think that the number one thing that everybody listens to is music.
Mm.
And I feel like when we were younger, that our artists gave us stories and messages within the music.
Mhm.
And I think we've lost that in this generation.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to check that, just go back to the 80s and 90s and listen to the rap artists.
Oh, yeah, for
It
sure.
was always messages. In
Messages in the music, yeah.
there. And I'm
for sure.
hopeful maybe we can get with our young people. And I know it's messages in some of these young artists, because they got some bad artists out there that
Mhm.
lose their thing. But when we were coming up, it's like almost 90% or 95% of the artists had a lot of messages in the music. And I just look at them because everybody look up to artists because everybody like music.
Exactly.
Love music.
So since we're doing participation, let's go on ahead and do the Black History trivia.
Well, you want to go back to back?
So Teresa said, I missed them all.
I got one. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't even know who won today.
Donnie said, oh, man. No, nobody got them all right.
Nobody got them all right.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah.
we'll wait for Humpty on that.
Yeah.
Let's get the trivia right.
Okay.
Come back. Come on.
Black History trivia. All right, Black History trivia. So we're focusing, you guys know, on mentorship and youth, the youth edition. So today's question connects to our theme, mentorship and investing in the next generation. So for my history buffs and my Tulsans, which Tulsa educator and civil rights leader helped mentor young people and work to improve education opportunities in Oklahoma, and even becoming the first Black principal of Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa?
What?
Is it A, Booker T. Washington? Is it B, E.W. Woods? Is it C, Thurgood Marshall? Or is it D, Frederick Douglass?
Girl, you done came up with a trick or a treat. You got one ready. So we're going to the Hornetville. So all you Hornets got to get it right, Keisha. Cousin.
Yeah, Keisha, you should know this.
Yeah, but read it again.
Okay, here it is. The Black History trivia question. Which Tulsa educator and civil rights leader helped mentor young people?
So it's a Tulsa educator and civil rights leader.
Mhm.
So this person is both.
Yes.
Okay.
Who helped mentor young people and work to improve education opportunities in Oklahoma, even becoming the first Black principal of Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa. Is it A, Booker T. Washington? Is it B, E.W. Woods? Is it C, Thurgood Marshall? Or is it D, Frederick Douglass?
Whatever Richie say.
Don't do Richie.
Whatever cousin Richie say.
Okay, so Richie says B.
That's Booker T. Washington?
No, that is E.W. Woods. Laura says B. Keisha says B.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to B.
Brian says B. Teresa says B. Crash, good morning, brother. How you doing?
Welcome to the show,
And
Crash.
Crash says B.
We was waiting on you, Crash. So you
Yeah.
waited to crash and then come in with B. So I'm going with you. Because you know he doesn't
AJ says B.
see now I'm starting.
Okay, so at the end of the day, everybody got it right. The answer is B, E.W. Woods. So E.W. Woods was a respected educator who helped shape generations of students through leadership and mentorship in Tulsa school systems. He understood something powerful. When you invest in young people, you build stronger communities. And that's exactly what mentorship is all about. So that has been your Black History trivia question.
That was good.
Yes.
E.W. Woods.
E.W. Woods. So the school that's right behind Booker T is named Woods. It's Woods Elementary.
All right, y'all. It's 40 after
Back
the
in the
hour. It's 70 degrees here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, here in Greenwood. on Black Wall Street. We're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to do our business spotlight, some upcoming events. And tomorrow, we're going to have a special edition of our show. We're going to let you know who's going to be on. Coming up next on the Community Wake Up with Charles and Damali.
What? Keisha said Hornets for the win. Because we all went to Boogie T.
Is that mic still hot? If that's not clear.
Today. No.
Welcome back to the Community Wake Up with Charles and Damali, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of Black Wall Street on Greenwood. And we're back live in studio. You're tuned in on NYCU.FM. You're also locked in and we're syndicated on KBOB 89.9 FM, where we get to tell our story our way. Shout out to the Juice Radio Show. If you would like your high schooler or your youth to be in the media space, reach out to Uncle Bobby and become a part of the Juice. We also live on YouTube, the official World One Development news that you can use today. We're talking about youth. We're talking about mentorship. We're talking about making our community better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we've been talking about all day. But we posed the question, what happens when mentorship and support systems fail our young people?
Right.
So Charles, I'll give you an opportunity to answer that question. What do you think happens when mentorship and support systems fail our young people?
So I give an answer, you give an answer, and on the live, y'all give an answer. What happens in our community when mentorship fails?
Mm-hmm.
I think what happens in our community when mentorship fails is our kids start to commit suicide, and nobody knows what happened.
Mm-hmm. I think children start to self-medicate.
Drugs.
That drugs, alcohol, just self-medicate. They start to self-medicate, which is very detrimental and creates more trauma. So you guys give us some answers about what you think happens when mentorship and support systems fail. Let's see here. I think I'm missing a couple. Laura says crime. Yeah, crime starts to happen.
That's
because kids start to act out. They just start to do things.
They say an idle mind is what?
The devil's workshop.
And in the devil's workshop, he got everything.
Yep. Now, so I want to talk about something. My youngest daughter, Sabri, brought this to my attention yesterday. And she said, Mama, have you seen the video that's circulating on social media? I'm like, no, I ain't even been on social media like that today. Right. And so she gave me this post to go to on Facebook to look at this video. And I was so disheartened. So let me just tell you what happened. So a recent situation involving a young lady by the name of Jada West has sparked conversation across social media and within communities about youth guidance, accountability, and the role adults play in shaping the next generation. So this is what happened. A 12-year-old girl moved into a neighborhood and ended up losing her life after a fight with someone who had been allegedly bullying her.
Wow.
Her name was Jada West, and she should still be here. In Douglas, Jada had reported been dealing with bullying after moving into a new neighborhood. At some point, the tension turned into a physical altercation between Jada and another girl. But what happened next is heartbreaking. During the confrontation, Jada's heart stopped. Just like that, a 12-year-old child gone. Her family is now demanding answers and justice, trying to understand how a situation that began with bullying ended in the death of their daughter, a little girl who had her entire life ahead of her. Bullying is never harmless. Words and intimidation can escalate into tragedy. So the writer of this is saying, please talk to your kids, teach them compassion, teach them accountability, because sometimes what people call kids being kids can turn into something that no family should ever have to do, burying the child.
I think that's the single worst thing that anybody would ever have to do, is because that don't go along with the way the normal course of life is supposed to go. I just think the worst thing to ever have to do is to bury your child. So this story to me is extremely sad, to be 12, what you're getting ready to be in middle school and to lose your life to bullying. So it makes me think, Damali, is, man, where's the love? A new kid comes to the community, and instead of welcoming the person and showing them love, you show them hate and you bully them. You get into a fight and the person loses their life. What are we doing in 2026, Damali? What are we doing?
Right. And I think that this has been happening. This is an age-old thing that has happened, right? That we've seen in some communities. The mean girls, they talk about the mean girls, right. And those are in prep school. Right. There are certain families right here in Tulsa, and I'm not gonna name none. Because I don't
name one.
No, I ain't naming none. Because I ain't got time for no problem. But there are certain families that when you say their name, and Elmer knows what I'm talking about. My daughter Keisha knows what I'm talking about. There are certain families that when you mention their name, it's always, man, they always fighting somebody, they bullying somebody, they ragging on somebody, they talking about somebody, they taking stuff from other people. They just always doing something. You know what I mean? So you just know, as soon as you hear the name, you're like, oh Lord, but it's because of the lack of mentorship.
Right.
Because I was taught, do unto others as you want others to do unto you. Would you want somebody taking your stuff? Bullying you, bothering you, taking your lunch money, beating you up, snatching your jacket. I mean, just all kind of crazy stuff. So this is a very sad situation.
Right.
This girl moved into a new neighborhood. I'm sure her parents are horrified. I saw the video, and the video was not good, right? And I felt the girls, when you see the video, you think that the girl was the aggressor. The young lady that lost her life, you would think she was the aggressor, but nobody knew the backstory. The backstory was that she had moved into this neighborhood, had been being bullied by this same girl. So kids can be cruel. And so what ends up happening is she gets off the bus at her bus stop,
Right.
and all off the bus with her. And she's like, what y'all getting off the bus for?
Right.
You know, so they're egging on, you know, they got their cameras and they, you know, taking video and they're egging on the fight, you know. And so the girl is like, listen, if she puts her hands on me, it's gonna be on and popping today. So basically what she said, and you can, I done had it up to here.
She
And today is the day.
Yeah, she done taken all she can take.
And so they actually get it. And so what I find out later, as I continue to dig off into this, is found that the girl had never had a fight in her life.
Right.
And apparently what they're supposing, and you know, that, you know, this is all supposition at this point, but that her heart rate
Was so high.
went from 0 to way up that it caused her to go into cardiac arrest because she was so amped up, you know, but that was because she had been tormented for 3 months.
Right.
The school wasn't that this was going on. There were even adults out there that didn't even break up the fight until they, you know, now as you've seen it escalate, parents, why did y'all step in and say, hey, we're not doing this today? You know, y'all go home and you live to fight another day, but today ain't that day.
Man, we was little. There's no way you finna break out in the middle without miss this and miss to this and the school bus driver, everybody pulling up. You'd be like, if you don't get to the house. But that's why it's important for us to have these conversations, because there's too many instances when things like this are happening and nobody's talking about it in the community. So that's like part of that wake up. And I know, man, and I get it. A lot of times we're like, man, these kids is crazy. I'm not saying nothing to none of these kids, man. These kids, this. But it's somebody's child, and at one point you was turned up doing what you was doing, but somebody was willing to take a chance on you.
Exactly.
So that because we all done had a fight. We all done had a fight at school or after school or been in situations like this, Ben. We played some part in it. But we still remember somebody that stepped in to say, hey, y'all, come on now. So how are we going to live or exist if we going to decide as a community to be afraid of our kids?
Exactly.
If we decide to be afraid of our kids, that means the police going to have to deal with them. The DA going to have to deal with them. The jail system going to have to deal with them. The justice system going to have to deal with them. So do you rather try to deal with your next generation, or do you want to leave it to these different entities? And they're building more and more prisons. They're building it for our kids. So we have no other choice but to get out here and establish some trust with them and not judge them and not talk crazy to them like that. So I think that, and I can say this because, look, I worked at a place called the Elevator Center. And this was for the most challenging kids, you know, in community. So I'm talking about first degree murder, rape, arson, and all of that. And the thing that I had to say, Mr. Harper, the reason why we haven't assaulted you or did this is, man, you show us respect, man. And you show us some love, man. So, man, we protect you, man. Anytime something going on, that's up, Mr. Harper. Because everybody do nothing but fuss at us and cuss at us. But you don't come at us like that. And that's real talk, Mr. Harper. And I'm sitting there nervous because they tied it up from head to toe. But I said, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. But anyway, we got to do better.
We got to do better. So Dominique says, crime. We lose our youth to the prison system. Uncle Brian says, looking for love in all the wrong places. Laura says, kids are brutal if left unchecked. She said, this makes my heart hurt. The devil goes after our kids the strongest. Teresa says, I'm sorry, but that person should be charged with her murder. And Uncle Brian says that little girl lost her life because of bullies and because of hate. So I just wanted to remind you guys, like, first of all, we want to lift this family up in prayer, the family of Jada West, because I just cannot even imagine what they are going through. And you know, maybe feeling like they put her in harm's way. You know, they moved into this neighborhood thinking it was going to be good for their daughter, and now she's no longer here. So, you know, prayers for that family, prayers for those parents, you know, and this should be a wake-up call, though. This should be a wake-up call for all of those students that were out there watching the fight, because, I mean, that now you're traumatized. You should feel some kind of way. And if you don't, then that goes back to what we talk about, the desensitivity that happens with all these video games and all of that. And so I'm going to go, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead and move on because we got a couple things we want to hit before, you know, it's 5 before the hour. So we shut off directly at 9 o'clock. So we want to do our small business spotlight. So today we're shining the spotlight on Lady D Delight Soaps and More, owned by Darlene Weston. And she was on, I don't know if she's still on right now.
Right.
She's located at 502 3rd Street, Suite 7 in Tulsa. Lady D Delight Soaps and More offers handcrafted products designed to help people take care of themselves and enjoy a little everyday luxury. From beautiful made soaps to other self-care products, Lady D Delights focuses on quality, creativity, and wellness, reminding us that taking care of our skin and our health is part of taking care of ourselves. Businesses like this are important because they represent entrepreneurship, creativity, and community pride. Sometimes the best products come from small businesses built with passion and purpose. If you would like to learn more about Lady D Delight Soaps and More, you can visit LadyDDelightsProduct.com or call 918-269-9170. And I meant to bring her little bag. It's in my office on my desk. I meant to bring it so I could show it on the live. But she brought Charles and I a little grab bag full of different little things. So we appreciate you for doing that, Miss Darlene. That was amazing. And we are using your stuff. So we're going to tell y'all. Guys, it's working out pretty good.
I put some on my calf muscles last night. I've been running ever since. Like in my sleep, I'm just got a little rotation going on right there. I'm just saying that when I woke up, I was in shape. I was running my sleep. Mm-hmm. I'm better.
Richie says, Damali, Margie and I remember you and Donna Ross being a part of that village for our children and many other children too. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Richie. I appreciate that, and you for saying that. I mean, sometimes we just got to step up and, some kids need that additional support. And sometimes other people can reach your children when you can't. So, we just got to be willing to do that and step up.
And here's the thing, too. You got to remember about the youth. The youth are always watching us. They might push the limits. They may say little stuff, but it means everything to a youth that grew up in your church and you happened to go to a graduation. You didn't even know they was graduating. But when you spot them and go, hey, congratulations, give them a hug and do that. That is so encouraging to a youth.
Yes.
Because you celebrate them. So just remember that the youth, just like your kids, are always watching you.
Yes.
Watching everything that you do. They may not say it in the beginning, but that's when they get older. They say, well, how are you going to tell me you used to do this and you used to do that? Your kids are always watching.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to go to our community alerts. Don't forget that EduRec Spring Break Camp is accepting registrations right now. Call us at 918-430-3947 or go to edurectulsa.com, or you can call me or you can call Charles. If you have our numbers, the tuition is $20 per day per child. The deadline to register is March 11th, which is tomorrow. You can also sponsor a child or multiple children, or you can sponsor the whole camp. The goal was to do 40 kids. If we find out that we need to expand that because of the tornado that has hit our community, and we understand that some programs will not be available during spring break, then we will make those adjustments as needed. But yeah, registration ends March 11th. So make sure that you get your child signed up. The results for the USA Today 10 Best 2026 Awards will be posted tomorrow. So we're going to check to see if our very own Black Wall Street Rally won Best Cultural Festival at 10best.usatoday.com. The Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity is awarding 2 $1,000 scholarships. The application deadline is March 31st, and we'll post that flyer. The Delta Sigma Theta Sorority are offering scholarships. You can go to dsttulsaalumni.org for scholarship information. Their deadline is April the 10th. And the Black Wall Street Rally is going to be happening May 14th through 16th. There's going to be museum tours, live music, stages, panel discussions, and cultural events. And on Friday, May 15th is Rep Your City Day and an audio Super Bowl. So make sure that you get your tickets in order to participate. You can go to blackwallstreetrally.com. Don't forget to save the date. Juneteenth is happening, Juneteenth weekend. And so now tomorrow we're going to be talking about accountability. We talked about it a little bit. So if you would like to advertise your events, business, or show, go to nycu.fm and submit an inquiry, and somebody will get back in contact with you. Don't forget, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this program belong solely to him and me and our guests, which is all of you, not necessarily to this station, affiliates, organization, committee, or other group or individual associated with nycu.fm or KBOB 89.9 FM.
Tomorrow's the police report with Lieutenant Donald Sanders. He'll be back. We got to go. This has been the Community Wake Up with Charles Harper and
Damali Wilson.
See you on Hump Day Wednesday. Have a blessed day.